When I talk to IT leaders today, they're very interested in being able to move to the next generation of data center architectures to get even more value out of their existing hardware platforms. Over the last 10 years, we've seen virtualization take over, and customers have been able to receive real cost benefits by consolidating physical infrastructure into virtual infrastructure. And now they're seeing actually the complexity of trading off that physical server sprawl for virtual server sprawl. And so getting control of that virtual sprawl again and being able to get even more efficient utilization out of their existing hardware resources, that's often a very key driver in an entry into this conversation about the private cloud. Well, in our own understanding, and when we've talked to customers, the three biggest benefits of moving to a private cloud architecture are around agility, around focus, and around economics. In terms of agility, these private cloud architectures let you move much more quickly than a traditional approach to building a data center. In terms of focus, what this means is that we can segregate duties across what the fabric owner needs to do in terms of assembling the raw material of the private cloud versus the application owner who only needs to understand what's going on within his own application. And then finally, the economics. By moving to a cloud-based architecture, you're able to get a lot more efficient usage of your existing capital expenditure in network storage and compute because you're driving higher utilization across an existing set of resources. So to achieve the benefits of the private cloud, you need to move to a new architecture that's got four fundamental attributes. The first is around pooled resources, so that applications can have access to resources, but resources are scaled across multiple applications. So the same physical storage, network, and compute can be used by multiple apps. The second is around a dynamic infrastructure that can scale up or scale down depending on the workload of the app. The third is around self-service, and so to get the benefits around agility, you really need the application owner. He's got to be able to deploy and modify his application without necessarily having to pick up the phone and call central IT. And then finally, once you've moved to this architecture, you need an infrastructure that supports a showback or a metering approach so that you're only paying for what you're using. Well, one of the key design points of System Center 2012 was that we wanted you to be able to use your existing resources, your existing people and skills, and to start to take advantage of these private cloud architectures. Fundamentally, what this means is we had to be cross-platform from the metal up. And so our hypervisor supports an existing mix of workloads, whether that's Windows Server 2003, Windows Server 2008, or any of the commercially popular distributions of Linux. Likewise, our management tools had to be able to support managing applications running on those different guest operating systems and also supporting multiple hypervisors. So as you're assembling these cloud architectures, that can be based on Hyper-V or your existing Xen or ESX infrastructure. And then finally, we wanted to give you a common pane of glass so that you could start to take advantage of both the private cloud and the public cloud. And so we wanted to give you a single set of tools that allow you to take advantage of these cloud architectures, whether you're building them in-house or you're taking advantage of assets in the public cloud. One of the most exciting parts of this System Center 2012 release is System Center Orchestrator. This is a really exciting technology that's going to allow IT professionals to automate many of the routine manual tasks that they have to run today. What we found is in this transition to private cloud architectures, it's very, very important that you get deep standardization. And so things like technologies like the service templates and VMM, et cetera, allow you to get very deep level of standardization. And then in order to get the most efficient use out of your existing people, being able to automate all those routine tasks that you run in the data center, a very important piece of technology that also integrates with a lot of the existing IT assets that are in place today. Well, with System Center 2012, we had the opportunity to actually capture some of the learnings we have from Azure. And now Azure is a very different deployment methodology. If you've ever been to Azure, it takes just a couple of minutes to go up and provision new resources, to get your code into there and to deploy it. And it's done in a very self-service way. And you can stop and start your application, you can move stuff around, et cetera. And you don't ever need to pick up a phone or call central IT or call up an Azure admin and ask them to spin up another extra resources for you. That's one of those core benefits of agility that we talk about when we talk about the cloud. System Center 2012 sought to take that same level of agility for the application owner and bring that on-premise. And so the application owner can basically get, through a portal like App Controller, that same lightweight self-service experience to start, stop, deploy his applications and modify them without necessarily having to get into the complexity of all that behind-the-scenes infrastructure that the data center admin has provided for him.